Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. For those that are new, you're very welcome. For those that are returning subscribers, thank you very much. If you're new to my channel, I post my videos on Thursdays and Sundays, so make sure to press that subscribe button and press that bell button to get notifications when I post more of my videos. So today I've taken a little bit of a different twist and a bit more relaxed about my childhood shenanigans, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. The lady that you see in front of you today has not always been like this. I learned quite a lot of lessons while I was still very young. One that I would say stayed with me the most was the fact that I needed to get my anger in check. When I was in primary school, basically I was playing on this thing and this girl pushed me off it and I landed in an awkward position, like my back and neck was in an awkward position. So I was like, well, wait, like you could have hurt me, why did you do that? And she was like, oh, because I wanted to play on it. I'm like, And she sort of started mouthing me off because her friends were there. And I went into attack mode. Like literally everything went red. I could not see anyone else that was around me except for her, who was in a black figure. I couldn't even see her face. It was a black figure. Everything else was red. And I pounced. I do not recall what it is I did to her or how we fought. The people that saw this fight were now telling me, we were trying to get you off her, but you were just not having it and you were pushing us away from you, and like the teacher had to grab me off her. By the time I then got to the head teacher's office, I was still so angry because I hadn't finished off my anger. And I was just sat there literally shaking and crying out of anger. And like the head teacher was like, what the hell happened? Like, this is not you. They didn't even tell my parents. I don't know how I got away with it, but he realized that it was so out of character. And the state that she was in, boy, that was like my first indication that I had some degree of anger management. And now looking back at it, I understand why people say they may have committed this crime or done this and have no recollection of it, because I do not recall the fight itself. All I remember is seeing red and just her figure in black. This was, I would say, was the last time that I properly fought, because I then made a decision, of which I'm really proud of looking back now, that I made that decision when I was very young that, you know, I'm not just gonna fight willy-nilly. I have no recollection of it. In high school, mate, I questioned authority, not in the best way, but I was someone that I didn't like people exerting their power on me or making me seem like I was lower than them at their convenience. In other words, if a teacher tells you to do this because they can't be bothered to do it, I always questioned that, because I was like, clearly you can do it yourself. You want me to do it because you don't want to do it or you can't be bothered to do it. But I'm not going to do that for you because you can do it yourself. It always got me in sticky situations. The way I articulated things kind of made it seem better. I think I got away with a lot of things because of the way I spoke. Isolation became my second home at school. Literally, I was there more days than I was in class. How this didn't get to my parents, yeah, I really don't know. The mistake that my school made is that me, my brother, and my cousin were in the same class. What kind of nonsense is that? Which, to be honest, they should blame themselves, because why? Me and my brother were like a tag team. And then there's this one teacher, like, she was really, really lovely, but my class was one of the worst classes in my year. Like, my class we were just not having it. Last lesson on Friday was music lesson. Literally that lesson was just to play around. And that teacher, bless her soul, she tried her best to get us to behave, but we were just not having it. Our head of year was constantly coming up to our lessons every Friday. Every Friday there was someone coming down to our lesson to collect quite a few of us to go to detention. Of which, that was nonsensical stuff, honestly. I don't, But either way, she only lasted a few months and then she quit. Like, imagine someone's career. She just, like, now thinking about it, like, and I realized how difficult it is, sort of like getting a job and, like, you know, trying to settle within a career. She quit. because of my class. We were absolutely terrible. The other one I remember, which was kind of, well, to me, made sense, but now thinking about it, it was, yeah, I just shouldn't have said that. It was an ICT lesson, and like one of the teachers, he was one of the cool teachers. Like he tried a bit too hard sometimes, but yeah, he was a cool guy. When I was younger, I was constantly, even now, like I'm constantly eating. But when I was young, it was on a regular basis. I needed to be eating all the time because I was always hungry. I was at ICT and I was like, oh, I feel hungry, so I had some crisps. At this time, this is mid-lesson. Oh yeah, just eating my crisps in peace. And I didn't bother try hiding it because I knew he was gonna come round and see them anyway. So I was like, do you know what it is? I'm not even gonna bother trying to eat on a sly. So he was like, oh, he told me off. Oh, why are you eating? I was like, I'm hungry. And he must have, at this time, he must have just been like done and over with my shenanigans. So he just let it be. And then one of the head teachers came in, and then like, they're like, wait, why are you eating? I was like, I'm hungry. And then he was like, yeah. And your point is? I was like, yeah, I'm hungry. That's why I'm eating. And then it's like, so don't you think other people are hungry? I was like, well, I don't know. I can only speak for myself. I'm hungry, hence why I'm eating. I don't understand why they're not eating. The response in itself, personally, I feel like it wasn't that bad. But the way the class reacted, I think made him furious. If a teacher could hit you in England, I think he would have been the one that day. And grabbed the crisps off me and threw them in the bin. This pissed me off, but thinking, mate, are you okay? At these times I've bought these crisps for 50p and you're chucking them in the bin. So now we're going back and forth. I'm thinking, why would you do that? You didn't have to throw my crisps away. You didn't buy them. How do you know if I have any other food to eat today? Are you gonna feed me? And like we were now just going back and forth, and he was not having it. He must have said something like, oh, like I'm giving you two seconds to like, you know, basically shut up. And then I was not having it because now I'm angry, because one, I'm hungry, and two, you've thrown my food away. Like, are you okay? I was like, you didn't need to do that. Basically, you need to buy me some crisps because I'm hungry. For all you know, today, this is the only food I'm gonna have today, and you've thrown my food away. I must have said like something about child torture or whatever. I must have gone off on another whole tangent. And he was like, I told you I had 2 seconds to shut up. I was like, no, I'm not. Until you buy me new crisps or you do something about my hunger, I'm not shutting up. Basically, isolation it is. To be honest, at this rate, I was used to being in isolation. That was my second home, so I just nicely took myself down there. And eventually, over time, because I was there so often, it became Kojo. You know, we were all right. I think the reason why I got away with a lot of things I did in high school is because, as bad as I could have been, my grades were always good. So they kind of questioned like, what the hell is actually going on in this child's head? Because one, your grades are really good, but your behavior is absolutely atrocious. Had to find balance. What can I say? Nothing short of excellence. Things that I wasn't dealing with manifested themselves through behavioral issues. That's also a thing to highlight. If you don't deal with things and you suppress things, they're gonna manifest themselves in other ways, of which most of the time they're not going to be serving to you. So if you've got things that you're not dealing with, or things that you're putting on the back burner, literally deal with it before they accumulate into bigger things. Start manifesting in ways you don't want them to. And actually question what the hell was actually wrong with me. I had this tendency that whenever I went to the shop, on my way back home, like as I got to the zebra crossing, I'll be limping and acting like, you know, that I had some sort of issues walking. And at one point, I even took it to the extreme level and dropped. And like the people that were in the car, that came out of the car, "Are you okay? You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then I'd keep limping towards the end of the road. And as soon as I finished the zebra crossing, I would sprint home. People were now beeping at me for like just the stupidity I've just done. I'm thinking about it, I'm like, wait, what was actually wrong with me? What possesses someone to do something so silly like that? But yeah, my class was actually mad. And we had this one teacher that everyone in the school sort of feared because she was strict and, you know, she had that authority and whatnot. But to my class that day, we were not having it. So we must have done something. We've made her so angry. She's shouted at the class and we've gone silent for a bit. And then someone must have said something and we all burst out laughing. She goes on another rant. She's shouting, she's shouting, she's shouting. And I think she just got so angry and she couldn't properly verbalize what she wanted to say. And she started crying. So like at these times, this is the hard teacher. This is the teacher that everyone fears. We're thinking, mate, like you're crying. So now it was, for us at that moment in time, it was really funny. So we've now burst out laughing. Okay, she's walked out, got herself together, wiped her tears, and then came back into class. She's now just sat there looking at us quiet. It's now awkward because we're now sat in some kind of silence, just looking at her too. And then like one of these guys in my class was like, okay guys, do you know what it is? We should apologize. So we've all conspired with each other. Okay guys, we'll apologize, yeah. And then he was like, okay, I'll do a countdown. We've planned this while she was out. So she's come back in, we're silent. And then he goes, okay guys, 1, 2, 3. And instead of saying, oh, sorry miss, we burst out laughing. And I've never seen someone so angry. She was so furious. And she just sat there. I think she said every curse word under the sun that day, but it was internally because the way she was looking at us, yeah. And then because now we've now spent, and like my class was one of those, like once someone got the giggles, yeah, it's game over. We're all laughing for a good at least 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, we've calmed ourselves down. Another attempt. I think we must have tried this like 4 or 5 times. And then towards the end of the lesson is when we finally said, oh, sorry miss. I think that teacher, yeah, she must have gone home and trash talked about all of us. Went in the staff room and talked trash about us. Because the way our head of year came and tore our heads apart. Just a little get to know me, just something a bit more relaxed. I get for you guys to see a bit more of my character. I had people do business with people they know or they like. Trying to get you guys to know a little bit more about me. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this more relaxed video. And I will see you guys in my next video.